Alright, call hello, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Kakradash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great Melson well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into the labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. And I had an idea from a video that I was watching earlier, and again, this is just going to be some milk scriptures. Some I've already gathered, most will get as they come. But since I'm going back to the basics, I guess that's just kind of the spirit. I mean, I did one yesterday, I did one today, and I think this is the second one for today that's going to just be dealing with basics. And it's about fearing the Lord. And you don't really, how most people don't truly, or most of us don't truly understand what it means to actually fear the Lord until you recognize his omnipotence, right? Creator of everything seen and unseen. And then he's passed that power to his son, but he is still greater, right? And I think furthermore, people hold on to the idea of free will, because they think that they can escape, or there's hope for an escape from the inevitable, whatever that inevitability might be for them. So they reject that, the the notion that there is no free will, or that you end up doing the will of the Lord no matter which route you choose to take. Or they reject that that the Father and the Son and the Spirit are three separate entities, especially those who are Trinitarian in belief. I think it all stems from, when you hear the truth, you realize it's hopeless for certain groups, or for most outside of the nation of Israel. And, they want to find a way around it. But the sad part is, or really sad for them, but a blessing for us, there is no way around it. So recognizing, well, we'll stay along the lines of recognizing the omnipotence and what fear means. That's really the main point here. All right, so off the dribble, I just want to read this, okay? And this is for not Corinthians, it's Colossians 1:16. Okay, yeah, that's Paul. Actually, this is a letter from Paul. Okay, so right, incomparable Hamashiach. Okay, who had delivered us from the points in 16, but I'm just going to read it from the top here. Who hath delivered us from the power of darkness, and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible power, firstborn of every creature. For by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. So when you recognize seen and unseen, there's nothing you can do to escape being in the hands of the living God. And we want to be properly, we want to be held in his hands for care, not for a just reward of wickedness. I do want to get let's do 28. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things, right? When righteous men do rejoice, there is glory. But when the wicked rise, a man is hidden. Absolutely. Okay, Proverbs 14 and 28. I'm sorry, different. 28 and 14. So happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief. All right, and you see a direct contrast, right, with the house of Satan standing tall, ever so tall, right, and being prideful, not understanding their fall is near. And then you have thus those of us who are of the hopeful, prayerfully we're of the elect, are putting away pride and putting on humility and contrition. Let's see, what else do we need? Actually, the main one, the first one I should have got. was directly in the front of Proverbs, right? Um, all right, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the works of understanding. 1 and 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Okay, and that goes hand in hand with that, with the second verse here. All right, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive instruction, wisdom, justice, and judgment and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, and to the young man knowledge and discretion. All right, knowing you can know how to walk, know when to speak, know when not to, know when to hold your tongue. All right, all of these things are great teachers, and especially I love reading through Ecclesiastes and Ecclesiasticus and Wisdom of Solomon and then the Proverbs. They can really, help you build that inner man, from a foundational standpoint. These are basic things, basic tenets, that you can do. All right, and the point was, like I said, was in Proverbs 1 and 7. And we're gonna go do Luke. It's all about fearing the Lord, right? Oh, I don't know if they spelled that right or not. But anyway, for he has regarded the lowest estate of his handmaid, right? For he that is mighty hath done to me great things, and holy is his name. Okay, and his mercy is on them that fear him from generation to generation. We want to hammer in the fear and recognizing, the omnipotence of the Lord. Those things go hand in hand. How do you escape the creator of things seen and unseen? Of everything that is in your body was created by him. Even you, even your entire makeup, you were made by him. There is and that's why when the scripture reads, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. You really actually get a sense of what that means. And I do want to go to 2 Samuel 24. All right, so this is when King David took the census, and then we were befall that punishment. This whole thing was a ploy because we were supposed to be judged at a certain point in time, right? So what did he say? Okay, so what did he? And then they came to Gilead, came to be stronghold, tired. Okay. Right, David's heart smote him after he numbered the people, right? Because you're not supposed to do that. Okay, the word of the Lord came for. So here's what I want to go to right here. The prophet Gad, David's seer, saying, "Go and say unto David, Thus saith the Lord, or thus saith Yahweh power, I offer thee three things. Choose thee one of them, that I may do it unto thee." All right. So Gad came to David, and he said 7 years of famine. And now just think about that 7 years of famine, okay, or you will flee before your enemies for 3 months. So people are, and this ain't today. This is then when somebody was going for your head, they was going for your head, right? So that's you flee before your enemies. So you can never really rest, can never lay your head securely anywhere, all right? Or 3 days of pestilence. Okay, and this is just one instance. We ain't even talking about how the Lord sent an angel to f up the Assyrians, 89,000. All right, there's so many different instances of the power of the Lord being on display. Hell, the flood itself, Sodom and Gomorrah, all the different instances. You realize, like when you really sit and meditate, you think, I'm glad I'm on the right side, or at least I'm striving to be on the right side. And people think that they take the God of the Bible for a joke because nothing has happened, but just stay wait. He was not given the name or title Alashadya, or terrible demon-like power, for nothing. Okay, so the pestilence fell upon Israel at the appointed time, and there died people from Dan even to Beersheba, 70,000 people. Do you understand that for people to in 3 days, 72 hours, in 72 hours? At least that's what we expect it to be. I don't know, maybe a different time, but whatever. 70 for the sake of brevity and clear understanding or simplicity. In 72 hours, did it say 70,000 men died? That's almost 1,000 people an hour, almost. All right, and when the angel stretched out his hand upon Jerusalem to destroy it, the Lord repented him of the evil, and said to the angel, "Destroy the people. It is to angel to that destroyed the people. It is enough. Stay now thy hand." Man, you look. That ain't no type of smoke I'm looking for. I shit. I can't. All right, and we'll keep going. We'll get a couple more about the fear, because we're in. Oh, actually, I was in Proverbs. Straight to the point here, the fear of the Lord, the fear of Yahweh, is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way in the forward mouth do I hate. So not only do you get to come to a full understanding of what the fear means and a full understanding of his omnipotence, in the meantime, you learn how to operate, how to walk. Okay, you learn how to use, I guess, your sword before you actually need to use it, right? These precepts, or these commandments are like a wooden sword that you swing. So when it comes to execute, what you learned in that spiritual battle, right? You got your real one. You've moved with your wooden sword, and hell, it might even be just a little bit heavier. So when you got your real one, well, no, that'd be the opposite. The real one's heavier. But you know what I'm saying. The point is made, right? These are practice things that you can implement daily, right? And swing the wooden sword. Okay, so I think we'll get a couple more. I don't remember. Uh, how about 19? Points in 23. We'll read 20. Hear the counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. There are many devices in man's heart. Hold on. There are many devices. Okay, in man's heart. In a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord shall stand. The desire of man is his kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. So the point here, I thought there was more to that, but the point here is in 23. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. And that's the main goal. We don't want to be visited with evil. NLT, fear of the Lord leads to life, bringing security and protection from harm. I like that. Okay, so I think I made the point here. This wasn't meant to be very long, alright, but fear, faith, those things go hand in hand. Fear, faith, and what was I couldn't remember. I did a video on that a long time ago. I can't remember the third one, but it's a triangle. I know. Fear, I think it might be fear, faith, and prayer. I think that's what it is. Because to fear the Lord, you have to have faith to know that the things that He said He will do, be it good or bad, will fall upon you. You can be put in any sort of terrible position. All right, you can be in a living hell right here. That's what hell is, a low condition. Right, you can be walking around one day blaspheming and talking a bunch of shit, and the next day you lose the use of your legs, and maybe you blind in one eye because you got hit by a bus, or I don't know, it's just some freak accident happened to you, and just in time for famines and uproars of the people, and now you left to fend for yourself, and you can go out bad. Many different ways to go out, and those are things that you uh, think about and you meditate on, that you don't want to fall into the hands, all right, of the living power. So what do? You read and you have faith that if you do right, He'll do right, and if you do wrong, you're gonna get chastised. And you also have belief in everything that is written, so you line your life up. All of these things, they go hand in hand. Okay, but I rambled enough, and I pray that you were edified. All right, shalom.